Welcome, Secure friends. It is fantastic that you have chosen to spend some time with the foundation to learn a little more about how do we maximize the minority to, in fact, reach the vast majority. Today's celebration is exactly that. It's a celebration of what we do. How do we support the chiropractic profession, elevate the education to reach those that have no idea who we are and what we do? And trust me, when I go through this presentation today, I think you're going to recognize we have some work ahead of us. But think about where we've been 127 years ago. It is called consistent and persistent activity. And just like normal, when we have our corporate sponsors such as Secure, and if you want to talk about consistent, that Secure Facebook Live that you come to once a week is exactly that. Always there, always rich with material. So we want to thank them for all that they do. Now let's jump into today's presentation. And that really focuses on where are we on the global perspective. And I'm going to give you the stats before 2020. And that is very important to showcase is there really isn't a lot of very, very good stats that have come out after the pandemic. So let's go with what we know. Here's what we know from the World Bank. 7.7 billion people are currently on this wonderful planet. And of those 7.8 billion people, we, the United States of America, make up 330 million individuals. Now, there's our friends to the north, the Canadians, and we never want to forget about them as well. So we're looking at approximately 4% of the world's population. That means, from a global perspective, outside of our typical national outreach, we all need to work a little bit harder, stretch a little bit farther to create a movement that builds awareness that actually saves lives through education and motivation of the chiropractic lifestyle. And that is why you're here with me today, because you know what works. You know how to get out into your community, and I'm going to help you continue to make that success. As we go through, now let's talk about the global perspective as we look at the musculoskeletal disorders. 1.3 billion prevalent cases are out there. That's a lot of people we can serve. 121,000 deaths occur because of these musculoskeletal issues. And unfortunately, 138 million disability adjusted life years are attributed to the things that we know, the things that we treat, and the things that we can actually make a difference in across the globe. Now, why am I talking about across the globe when you're here in the United States or Canada listening to me? And I know there's Canadians out there listening. Is one of the pieces that makes us so special is our continued welfare to helping get the information and education across the globe. We're just bigger than ourselves. We enjoy being able to help others that need our care. And that is, in fact, why we need to get our chiropractic services out before. And while I'm thinking globally, I'm actually also talking to you locally. What does it take in your own community to brand chiropractic? And I'll share with you a little bit more about what that looks like. The global perspective in 2019, well, there was 103 of us out there worldwide. And chiropractic education is now offered in 52 institutions around the world. That's important because there are actually more educational institutions now outside of the United States than are inside the United States. In fact, I was very fortunate to be at 100-year celebration with Cleveland University in Kansas City. And Dr. Carl Cleveland III, an amazing leader in this profession, shared a lot about the history and the passion of moving our message forward. And in so, he brought Richard Brown to the table. Now, many of you will know Richard Brown is the Consulate General for the World Federation of Chiropractic. He went over 20 principles that really are important to embrace and adopt into our chiropractic lifestyle journey, and sharing those pieces of information. There is 90 countries that are actually offering natural, effective chiropractic care. But one of the pieces that I shared with Richard Brown is how do we maximize what is currently going on in the United States and Canada to the world to get the message out And one of the things he brought to my attention was the amount of disability that is currently being suffered across the globe through musculoskeletal issues. In fact, the number one disability in the world is back pain. And when we know that, we can do so much more to get the information out because once we educate the world that this is the best choice, that a non pharmacological, safe, effective opportunity awaits, then the world will be a better place. And you have to ask yourself if living longer with a severe disability is that better than being educated for prevention and being proactive rather than reactive. And I know, chiropractic friends, that being in our own communities and being able to think on that natural organic scale in being able to reach out to our events that are happening in our communities, it's getting you out there and getting that message shared. So let's look now to direct access. So for the direct access, we actually have an amazing event that is occurring, and that is we're growing. But are we growing as fast as we want to grow? I'm going to say 90% of the countries actually have chiropractic in them. However, it's partially and sometimes fully covered. So the question now begins with, are we looking at the barriers to care for the patients that maybe have never even heard of chiropractic? And yes, there is plenty out there, or maybe have been malaligned by someone or something that they've heard that was false. We all know there's plenty of information on the internet, social media channels that don't tell the truth about chiropractic care. And we need to be able to reach those individuals. So what are the barriers to care? I want to share with you the weekend story in Kansas City at the Cleveland University celebration. It was Shaun White, Olympic gold medalist. How did he come to chiropractic? In fact, he knew absolutely nothing about chiropractic, but his mom was at an event and there was a chiropractor there set up to educate and help the event participants be the best they can be. Aren't we privileged that one of those chiropractors had his table there and treated the 7-year-old Shaun White so that he could be the best he could be and win an Olympic gold medal, and speaks very, very highly of us. And that is why we want to continue to support the collaboration around the world, because you never know who and when our message is going to resonate. So we took October and we blew it up. And I hope that you will celebrate with us. This worldwide growth of the profession, a resolution was born between the World Federation of Chiropractic and the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress. Why? To support continued efforts to advance awareness, utilization, and integration of chiropractic care worldwide through collaboration and the mutual support between two leading chiropractic organizations. That is why we put together a press release on the wire outlining the designation and collaboration amongst our organizations to help build greater awareness of chiropractic on a global level. And this release can be found on our website in our press release section. And I will ask that you share this, put it up in your facility, your clinic, or share it on social media, because the more awareness there is on chiropractic and how epic it is, according to Richard Brown, the growth that we're having and the utilization that we can make. Right now, it says we're treating approximately 15% of the US population. That, I hope, is a much bigger number since it hasn't been done for quite some time. And I'm hoping we're getting better. But we have to get past the tipping point in order for others to really enjoy what chiropractic has to offer. So here is the resolution of collaborative care. And this resolution really is all about bringing together and highlighting the global healthcare response that we enjoy and that we know can be evidence informed and people centered. Why people centered? Because some of what we're doing in chiropractic is more about the people and communities than it is about the patient. We need to be out there talking about obesity, sleep, nutrition, fundamental activities for balance and restoration. Key to success: bring everyone into the collaborative care that a chiropractor can offer. And that's why this particular resolution means so much to our profession and the foundation's progress in the future. So, who are we actually collaborating with right now? Well, you can see we have Portugal, we have Malaysia, we have South Africa, Ireland, and some more that will be coming up in Singapore. We are reaching out, and the World Spine Care is an event that happens every year, and they're looking for volunteers. So, listen, if you're out there and you want an adventure and you want to add a volunteerism to your particular resume, it would be fabulous if you would share the gift that your hands have been blessed with and go out to places like Somalia and Uganda and Nepal and be that chiropractor who's treating and sharing the gifts of a chiropractic lifestyle. So, alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much. And I wanted to share that global experience because I think it resonates in all of us that the evidence is real. And here is the chiropractic DCR 2.0. And I think this is a wonderful celebration. Carl Cleveland released this book on the weekend to his alumni and participants in the event. And this could not be a better celebration of what we do because you open this up and you can see the link down there. It's chocked full of all the research and information you need to get out to healthcare providers in your neighborhood. And yes, they need you. They need you because many of the primary care physicians, unfortunately, according to the New York Times and the Canadian Memorial Association of Medical Practitioners, are burning out because of the past 2 years of complete and utter dismay. So they need you. They need you to be able to refer to. And there may be some in your community that, well, didn't really know much about what you do, and you will enlighten them. So, friends, download that link. Find someone in your community this week. There's 3 more days left of this week. You can do this. I want you to be setting a small step forward because that's what the progress is all about. Baby steps forward. Because as we continue to build these baby steps, it's a journey. And that journey can lead to what some think is impossible to the possible. I'm going to give you a little Netflix. 14 Peaks is a movie that I want you to think of when you think about chiropractic. That's a movie that I think will make you smile. It'll engage you. It'll inspire you. And hopefully you'll be able to look at this marketing roadmap and say, yes, I can do 14 peaks in my brain for chiropractic. What is this marketing all about? This marketing roadmap really does, in fact, engage you on week by week. So we're in the 4th week of chiropractic. Happy Halloween to everyone out there. I hope it's a fun, happy celebration. Remind your patients that moderation is always the key when those candies come in, but it is really about celebrating chiropractic on the organic level, the national level now, as we have the Global Health Month and building out the awareness. So, where do we go from here? Well, these roadmaps are delivered right to your inbox if you're a foundation member. Some of you are still listening and you've never really adopted looking into chiropractic foundation. That's okay. It's so easy to do. And it's not going to cost you more than a coffee a week to be able to have the expertise and the marketing to really embrace the foundation's materials and support our legacy, which is the future, getting information out to our friends and family. Why? Well, we put this global image up because wherever your practice may be, our mission always remains similar: to increase the utilization of chiropractic through education. Make it a conscious effort to share one new resource each day with your patients. We have material. In fact, we have a lot of material. Join me, pop into the foundation's website as a member of your state association, you're a group member, or join the foundation as a gold, silver, or bronze member, and you'll be able to look at the educational tools and resources like tip sheets. Maybe there's a tip sheet for you waiting on childhood obesity, kind of an important area when we're looking at where our children are and how much weight they've gained over the last 2 years with the unfortunate circumstances they've been under. White papers, social media posts, brochures, posters, and so much more for you to get out there, get active, do what works, do what we know is important. maximize the visibility. So we go from the small minority to that vast majority. Now, let's give you a couple of F4CP updates because we have to make progress. And progress, my friends, has been made. Chirothon, look at the results. They speak for themselves. And that's how you run your office. Value added propositions to make maximum benefit. So we had 85,000 viewers of Chirothon. If you didn't join Chirothon, it's okay. I believe next year we're going to be bigger, better, bolder, and more beautiful. We had 85,000 viewers this year. What's going to happen next year? We had over $175,000 raised for our Naturally Chiropractic 4 national commercials that you can use wherever and whenever you choose. You can even go into your local broadcasting, ask for some spots to air these commercials. That would be epic. And that's how we grow. 400 non-chiropractors donated to this wonderful profession. And you know what was really beautiful is that they talked about how much they loved their chiropractor. And that's what it's all about. We're more than a profession. We're a lifestyle, and we want to build on that lifestyle. And we have video. You saw it. That's Dr. Fab Mancini. We were streaming all weekend long, and I want to give a huge shout out to ChiroSecure because they streamed our vignettes, and there was more than 12 of them. And a very warm hug to Alan Weinstein for all the attention he gave to our fantastic Chirothon. But it's all about education, whether you're educating yourself, and you can see some of these September pain-related topics when we had drug-free pain management awareness. That was epic in itself because it shared how we can increase our awareness by providing the best care possible. And what did it actually outcome to? 3 state associations, minimal. We had several that were coming in still, but we had mayors, governors, being able to adopt the chiropractic non-pharmacological care as a first-line approach to drug-free Pain Management Awareness Month. Those that are suffering are getting the information. Speaking of information, do not forget this is our fastest growing podcast ever in the history of Adjusted Reality. Why do you want to share this chiropractic scary past and promising future with Dr. Luz Portelli? Because friends and family that you have right now have no idea. Number one, people went to jail for this profession because we were maligned. We were actually targeted, and quackery became our next name that we're still fighting to this very day. But friends, if you share this podcast, imagine the eyes that are open, because once they're opened, they don't shut again on us. Once they understand how we got that labeling from a maligned and very deep, dark, sinister campaign from the American Medical Association, the patients then understand, oh, I understand now. Many have actually forgiven and said, will you forgive us for judging you? I've had a patient in my practice that did just that after listening to the podcast, is actually apologizing because they never really understood why we are called quacks. So open their eyes, open their ears, and open their heart to a better lifestyle. And it's not through a pill bottle, and we know that. So this podcast, Adjusted Reality, there's so many of them. Listen, we have over 65,000 listeners. And if we can't grow that 65,000 to be bigger than MedPage at 800,000, to be bigger than Merck, then it's our problem. It is our benefit, our goal, and our persistent consistency that will share the benefits of chiropractic. So friends, please take a moment on your drive home today, listen to that podcast, and then share it with one person. Maybe it's your wife, like I did. I shared it with my husband. Wherever you share it, trust me, it will be worth the investment. As we go through, last but not least, we have a job fair. Why do we have a job fair? Because our legacy is in the future of the chiropractors that we're now starting to see graduate. And we had so many people come to the job fair that the platform that we're on, we're going to extend, instead of November 11th, we're going to extend it to the end of the year. So if you have a friend, a family member thinking about a career in chiropractic, one piece of this is what happens when you get out of chiropractic? Well, there's jobs waiting for you, my friends. There is jobs waiting for them. So have them register to see the jobs that are available for them, because the faster we grow, the more people we can take care of. And this is the McDonald's economic model. It is the more people that see a McDonald's will come to a McDonald's. So let's all band together and let's share our vision of the future, building that minority to the vast majority. It is up to you. Happy Halloween. Don't forget, one of the key pieces here that really does influence our perspective is our altruistic, authentic approach. Next month is Thanksgiving. Give thanks. On our website, you can find the whole toolkit on how to set up a food drive. Plenty are suffering. If you've been gifted, please share. And having a food drive that is sponsored by someone who really cares in the community, and that's you, is really wonderful. There's lots of time to do it. Set it up right and start thinking about the holidays. A toy drive to touch a child that has had some very serious and unfortunate circumstances touch their lives could mean the world to them. We're chiropractors. We heal, we embrace, and we deeply care. So I will look forward to seeing you next month, but don't forget, next Tuesday, be back here on the ChiroSecure Family Channel so you can get more information to make the best choices for your chiropractic profession. Thank you.
Isn't it time you join the most powerful team of successful doctors in chiropractic and go for the gold? Simply go to www.f4cp.org/package and get your customized practice success solution.